Interest rates are certainly a very important piece of the payment when you're buying a home or buying a car. But another really, critical thing is your credit score. And, I think really looking at what your credit score is, and our app does a phenomenal job. You can go out and check your credit score. There's what ifs on it. I think really looking at your credit score and what are the things that you can do to improve your credit score? Because sometimes moving your credit score from a 650 to a 730 will have more of an impact than the Fed lowering rates 0.25%. And so, I think sometimes we look at what that rate is to buy a home, but your credit is equally as important. So really making sure that, you're doing the things, you're keeping your balances on your credit cards lower. There's a lot of really good advice in our app that's personalized to you and tailored to your profile that I think people really should take advantage of, because it's a great way to look at that. That is one way where you can save a lot of money on interest by having an improved credit score and having or keeping your credit score high if it's already high. And so definitely, look at that as balance with interest rates, credit score, and also down payment, right? Down payment is an important piece too. If you're buying a car, if you have a down payment, you're going to get a better interest rate than not having it. And so really thinking about those things are really important when it comes to what your payment will be for your first home or your second home or your first car, things like that.
That's a great point, because I think we think of interest rates as this big number or this big concept that we hear about so much, but then there's it's almost like a tripod, right? It stands on 3 legs, or it's a table, you have 4 legs, and it's not just this one thing that's holding everything up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I think something that you said too is your credit score is an impact to this, and down payment. Why does that matter? Why does down payment matter?
I think that there's the down payment piece, because if you're buying if your home's $350,000, that's what you're buying it for. A $350,000 mortgage is much different than $300,000, right? And so that the loan to value, kind of that 300 divided by that 350, the lower that is, you might not have private mortgage insurance. And interest rates are generally better the lower your loan to value. And so if you're at 95% loan to value, you're probably going to pay the higher rate. And so that's a really important piece, is that down payment component of whether it's buying a car or buying a home is really important. So that the down payment, the credit score, those pieces are important. And also term. If you do a shorter term, it's generally generally a lower interest rate than if you do a longer term. And so it's always trying to balance those items. But most people buying a home, you're looking at the 30-year mortgage, because that's the one that's going to provide the most affordability. But it's also a higher rate than a 20-year or 15-year. And so it's always balancing interests, and your payment and your loan to value are really important pieces when looking at that kind of total picture, if you will, of what you're going to be paying each month.
Affinity Plus is federally insured by the NCUA.